Hello, peoples. It's time to call the FBI again. Oh, shit. My phone decided to update. Problem with that is my phone is completely full. So, fuck. I guess I'm not calling the FBI. If you have no money, you have no rights. The less money you have, the less rights you have. That's why I compared with the homeless. Minorities got it easy. Unless they're homeless too. In which case they gotta go through the same shit. Most of the black people who were incarcerated were homeless when they were arrested. Is there some of them that were targeted because of the color of their skin? Probably. We all know it's easy to railroad somebody that you call mentally ill, somebody who's a darker color, somebody who's homeless. Most of it is from the road. Police in Boulder, believe it or not, go out of their way not to victimize black people unless they're homeless. The last thing you want to do is arrest the first string on the football team or anyone on it. That's a good way to get fired as an officer. Officers in Boulder specifically try to avoid black people because they might be black college students. Or they might be rich black people. Boulder is a rich area. You pretty well got to be rich to live there. If you're lucky, like Zaid Atkinson, you get to go to college. You get support when you're abused. People actually care. With the slander against me before Natalie was fucking killed, I needed help. And I tried to get that help and I was denied repeatedly. All these people were interested in is the sliding fee scale. What's the sliding fee scale? That's how they get paid with government funds. Is that government funds? No, it's your funds and the American taxpayers. I paid taxes for a lot of fucking years. I had a job nearly the whole fucking time I was homeless. And I get off work and I got people telling me I need to get a job. Well, fuck you. Meanwhile, we gotta pretend like this doesn't happen to other people. We gotta pretend like this is only happening to black people. We gotta pretend like those black people who were incarcerated because they were homeless were targeted for the color of their skin. No, they were targeted for being homeless. Most of the black people locked up are locked up for being homeless. You have no idea how many black homeless people that I knew that were targeted for being homeless and go, man, they don't do this to you white guys. Fucking bullshit. Bullshit, they don't do it to us fucking white guys. Pay some fucking goddamn it. I'm not going to pretend that the homeless are not victimized more than black people. because the homeless are victimized more than black people. The homeless account for way less than 1% of the population, according to their statistics. But there's a lot more homeless people than these assholes are pretending, number one. Number two, the same stuff that black people are complaining about, homeless people have to go through. Being targeted for poverty. Now, if I pretend that I was assaulted for the color of my skin, am I going to win? Fuck no. Because the system is racist. People, our laws are set up specifically so that everybody but white males have special rights. As if all white males are responsible for you. As if all white males are responsible for the decisions of female lawmakers who have never been homeless. Black lawmakers who have never been homeless. White lawmakers who have never been homeless. We got lawmakers of every color and every gender. We don't have any that are homeless. We don't have any representation for the homeless. There are supposed to be special rights for the disabled. But when you're homeless, those disabilities are used as an excuse to harm you repeatedly, over and over and over again. Black people do this to us. White people do this to us. Men do this to us. Women do this to us. Child molesters do this to us. Police do this to us. Anybody can harm us at any point in time, and nobody gives a fuck. There is no Black Lives Matters for the most victimized people in America, because the most victimized people in America are not black. They're former foster children. That's number one. Sorry, number one is foster children. Number two is former foster children. Number three is the homeless. Number four is the disabled. Matter of fact, number four is specifically the mentally disabled, and number five is specifically the physically disabled. And I get to hear all these white folks saying, oh, well, these black people, they're just fucking thieves. All these black people, they're just fucking druggies. They're all fucking drug dealers. Blah, 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 fucking blah. And you know what? I stick up for black people. I say, hey, I know a lot of black folks that ain't like that. You're spouting that bullshit out your ass. Then again, are any of those black people sticking up for my rights right now? Fuck no. Fuck no. They jumped on the BLM bandwagon hoping to get a free fucking check. Bitch, you're still fucking homeless. You are still fucking homeless. BLM still doesn't care about you because you're homeless. And I get that you think that they're going to fucking give a shit now. But they never did, and they're never gonna. BLM hates you as much as they pretend like white people hate them. No, white people, for the most part, don't give two shits about black people. They don't. They want to be left the fuck alone too. They want to get on with their fucking lives too. And not be told how they owe everybody for every wrong goddamn thing that's ever happened to them. It's not all white people's fault. You want to take a very select few rich white assholes and pretend that all of us are those white assholes. And then you want to turn a blind eye to the black rich people who are doing the same thing. And female rich people doing the same thing. But you still want to blame everything on white males. You make every excuse that you can why the homeless deserve it. Do the homeless deserve this? If the homeless deserve it, then so do black people. If the homeless deserve it, so do white people. If the homeless deserve it, so do men. If the homeless deserve it, so do women. If the homeless deserve to be victimized, then everybody deserves to be victimized. If the homeless are ignored when they try to turn in a bad officer, then everybody should be ignored when they try to turn in a bad officer. That's called equality. That's called equality. If you want equality, then why are you fighting for special rights? Because you don't want equality. You want a free fucking ticket when you do something wrong. You want to be able to say, oh, well, those people only did that because I'm black. Now you're playing the race card. When this happens to 100 people, and 10 of those people are black, we do not get to pretend that it's only happening to black people. Meanwhile, and prevent myself from being victimized by the police yet again, as they do over and over and over to the homeless. What am I supposed to do? What is it that you want me to do? I mean, I've jumped through people's hoops, and those people treated me like shit for it. Meanwhile, nobody has tried what I said. Not one person. Go in with me and fucking speak up. I thought Laura Nelson was finally gonna. I thought maybe she was a decent excuse for a human being, but it turns out she was full of shit. Good people don't fucking do that shit. And I get it. You know, I really do. I understand why she is fucking all loose-lipped. She has told me repeatedly she is. All of these people who did me wrong got away with it. And I'm not allowed to turn them in. I'm not allowed. I am illegally prevented from doing so. I'm in Chapel, Nebraska, because I can't go to the state of Colorado because of the abuse that I endured because the police were trying to hide their wrongdoing. Meanwhile, we got people who are targeted because they looked homeless who want to play the race card. They're allowed to be afraid, but I'm not. Meanwhile, I was victimized way more than Zaid Atkinson, Sammy Leon Lawrence IV, and Michelle Rodriguez put together. I was victimized by the homeless. I was victimized by homeless rights advocates. I was victimized by the police. See, now here's the thing. Many of these people I worked with before Natalie was killed. But afterwards, people didn't care about the truth. They cared about reputation. Meanwhile, you can't tell a black person who is targeted because they look homeless, or any other black person homeless, because they don't want to hear the truth. Who is they? I'm speaking specifically about black people in general. Does that mean that every black person is like that? It doesn't fucking matter at this point. At this point, all white people are being punished for things that most of us did not fucking do. Did those children, that little boy that was in that park, sitting on that park bench, getting smacked around by no less than 8 black people, while other black people are gathering around and clapping their hands and smiling and laughing about it? Meanwhile, BLM wants to complain about police doing this to black people. But when they do it to the homeless and the homeless speak out, the homeless are victimized. Why? Because there is no BLM for the homeless. There is no BLM for foster children or former foster children. Investigate these crimes or kill me. Investigate these goddamn crimes or kill me. I am sick and tired of empty words, empty promises, and victimization. I am tired of people assaulting me and threatening my life and stalking me, and nobody will do a god. I am tired of government programs that cost me more than I will ever get out of them. Ever. All they have to do is say, you're mentally ill, and magically any crime committed against me is fine. You know what's mentally ill? I'll tell you. Ignoring victims of heinous crimes and police brutality. Ignoring victims of rape. Ignoring victims of child molestation. And justifying it by saying they're mentally ill. Help me pressure and put these predators away instead of perpetually victimizing me. Elijah McClain's death could have been prevented if, when I spoke out about those things happening to me, somebody had listened. Elijah McClain's death is a direct result of what was done to me. Tibor Hatay was killed in exactly the same way. He was killed in Clearview just months after I spoke out. Months after I spoke out about the way that, well, Clearview Behavioral Health and the entire system in Colorado treats people who try to turn in bad cops. Bad cops, when you try to turn them in, will take you to the hospital and use the hospital to try to discredit you and make you look crazy, so their crimes are magically justified. Oh, you think you're going to turn in a bad police officer? Well, you came in alone. That was very stupid of you. Well, with all due respect, I tried to get people to go in with me. I got empty promises. Those empty promises are victimization. Those empty promises are harm against a disabled person. To this day, I'm still not allowed to defend myself. To this day, the only thing that I can do to try to get a fucking court date without your help is to break the law again. You think I want to break the fucking law? No. I want the law to actually work. I want equality for all of us. And what good are special rights if there is no way to enforce them? Body cameras are more important than racist laws. See, we got all these folks wanting to complain about Jim Crow laws, about how wrong they were, about how wrong they are. And in the 70s, 80s, 90s, after 2000, after 2010, and now in 2020, we are making Jim Crow laws against white males in specific by making special rights for everyone but white males. Meanwhile, none of these special rights are observed. So why the fuck do you want more special goddamn rights? That's fucking stupid.